Today I am going to explain about CSS. Okay, so from basics to complete most of the features I will cover in CSS. Okay, in case if you are not able to hear or any issues with network, you just comment. I will check in the comments and I will reply. Okay, let's start CSS session. So first of all, what is the CSS? CSS used for applying some styles to the HTML. Okay, HTML is for some structuring purpose. We will use HTML. CSS is for styling purpose for HTML. Okay, CSS full form is cascading style sheet. Using CSS, you can apply some colors, background colors, font size, all these things. Okay, let's use one by one. Okay. First of all, what is the syntax of CSS? So this is the syntax. So h1 is the selector. Here this is the property, color is the property, and red is the value for this color. Similar way you can add multiple properties in these curly brackets. For first one is the color, second one is the background color I added. So here is the multiple properties. Okay, let's see practically slide by slide, then you will understand. Okay, so let's go to editor. I'm using Visual Studio Code. Okay, you also can install and you can use this one. So I'm just creating a new file. Let's say first dot. Let's create here outside first dot HTML or HTM. Extension can be HTM or HTML, anyone. Okay. Let's start with basic HTML first. HTML is the root element. Inside that two sections will be there. One is head section, one is the body section. Okay. Head section will have title of the document. Let's write some title. Let's say CSS introduction. Okay. In body, let's write some heading. Simple heading. Hello all, welcome. Let's save this one. Just run in the browser. Right click here and you will get option open with live server. So that will open in the browser. Okay. See here it is coming, our heading. This is the title is coming here. Now let's start CSS part. Okay. In first slide we are explaining about syntax. So let's write some syntax. Go to editor. So CSS part we will write inside style element. Here inside head element we will write style. Inside style we will write the syntax of CSS. So let's say if we want to write for h1, use h1 selector. Inside curly brackets, let's say I want to give some color colon red. Okay, now save it. Now let's go to browser. Okay, L is missed here, that's why it's not coming. Now save it and see this color is applying now, color red. Similar way you can apply background color, all that things, multiple properties. Let's say if I want to apply background color colon some yellow, I want to apply yellow. Now save it. See this one, yellow background is coming as well as red color is coming for h1 heading 1. Okay, so this is the syntax. Here I have written two properties, one is color, second one is background color. Okay, so how I have written, this is the property name, this is the value. Similar way second property also, background color is the property, yellow is the value. Okay, so that is the syntax. Next, let's go to next slide. CSS selectors. So let's say here we used h1 selector. Okay, this is called as selector. Okay, so there are so many selectors are there in CSS. So here is the example, h1 h2. So we have h1 to h6 elements, right? So we can use this as a selector h1 h2 like this, and span pre, all these tags we can use as a selector. Okay, these are element selectors. So you can use class and id also. I will tell you about this class and id after this. Let's use some h2 also. Here I told about h1, right? Let's use for h2 also. Let's say I have h2 hello heading, hello, I am heading 2. Okay, now for h2, similar to h1, we can write h2 also. Let's say I want to write some different color. Now some gray color I want to apply. Let's save this one and let's run in the browser. See, this gray color is coming. So using this selector we can write the css like this. Here I used h2 selector, here I used h1 selector. Okay, now I have, let's say I have one more h2. Let's copy this one. I am heading 3. Let's write this one as heading 1, this one as heading 2. Okay, now I want, if I apply this h2 selector, that will apply for both h2. Okay, so let's see this one first. See, I have two h2 elements. For both it is applying color gray. Now my requirement is I want to apply only for the second h2. I don't want to apply for first h2. How we can do that? So at that time this class and id will come to the screen. Okay, let's see, we can use class or id here for any element. Class equal to some class name we can write here. Let's say heading 2. Okay, using this one I will apply here. Here we need to write the dot class name. Inside this we can write color, what we can say, green. I want to write green. Now let's see. See, for second h2 green is coming, but that is not affecting the first h2 because this class I have applied only for second h2. Okay, if we use this selector, that will apply for all the elements with this selector. If I use h2 here, so two h2 are there, so for two elements it will apply. So if I want to apply only for one element, I can use class or id. Okay, so same class I can use for other elements also. Let's say I have h3 element. Hello, I am h3. Okay, so now I can use this same class. I can reuse this css using this class without writing again. See, this green color is coming for this also. So I can reuse this css using this class. Okay, then where id will come? id use the unique one. So for identifying the element we will use the id. Okay, here we used class for multiple elements h2 and h3, but id you cannot use for multiple elements. If you use for one element, you cannot use same id for another element. Okay, so id also will useful for the css only, but if you use class you can apply for multiple elements with this class name. id you cannot apply multiple elements, only single element you can apply id. So that is about selectors. So here we used three selectors. One is h1, one is h2, third one is the class name. So similar way fourth one id also you can use it. Okay, next let's go to next one, types of css. So there are three types of css are there: external css, internal css, inline css. Okay, so currently we have written this second one, inline internal css. So within style element we have written all our css like this. Okay, Apart from this internal CSS, there are two more CSS are there. One is inline CSS. Within element we will write like this. Third one is external CSS like this. Separate, we will create separate file like this. Any name we can give like this, and extension should be .css. So all our CSS we can move into this separate file. Okay, let's see all these three types. So we have seen already one type of CSS. This is internal CSS. Okay, let's write some inline CSS. Let's use some paragraph now. Hello, I am paragraph. Now here I want to apply some inline style. Let's say I want to give some color colon. Which one will give? Let's give some red. Similar to internal style only we will write it. Here we have written property name colon value. Here also property name colon value. Here also you can write multiple properties. If you want to write one more, you can give like this, semicolon comma one more property. For now I am giving color colon red as a inline style. Let's see. Go to the browser. See here. This is coming from inline style. Okay. Inline style means within element we are writing CSS instead of inside style element. Okay. Now let's see the third one, external CSS. What is external CSS? So let's create one file. Let's say external.css. So here extension should be .css. So for HTML we are writing extension .html, right? So similar way for CSS file we will write extension is .css. So let's create it. So here we can write, let's say for body I want to apply something. Now body, let's say I want to apply some background color, some olive. So I want to apply this color, background color. Let's save this one. Now let's check in the browser. See, nothing will happen. So I have written for body background color means complete document background color should come. We have created separate file, but we did not include this one in the HTML. We should link this CSS file with HTML. Then only this CSS will apply to this this HTML. So let's link with this CSS file. We will link using link element. So you can see the syntax here. Link rel style sheet. Href is the attribute. You will give the path of the file, CSS file. Okay. Now let's write it. Rel equal to style sheet, and href is the attribute. We will give the path of the CSS file. Let's say our CSS file is external.css, right? So here it is showing hint. Yeah. So let's, yeah. So now let's see. This is our CSS file. Inside CSS file I have written background color olive. For body, body means complete document it will come, whatever we written for body. Now let's see. See, complete document it is coming because we have written for body element, body selector. Okay. So this is about external CSS. So these are the three types of CSS. One is this first one is the internal CSS. If we separate CSS in separate file, that is called as external CSS. If we write inside element, within element, that is called as inline CSS. Okay. So but inline CSS is not preferable one, because if we use internal or external CSS, we can reuse that CSS. Let's say if I write some h1, that will apply for all the h1 elements. But if we write inline CSS, you need to go to each and every element and you need to write like this. You cannot reuse the css if you use inline css. Okay, let's go to next slide. Colors. So three ways we can write the colors. One is using these names, color, red, green, orange, yellow. Using this color name you can write the color like this, color colon red. Here we used the name of the color. Second one, hexa value. Hexa value means it will start with hash, next 6 characters will be there. So this is alternative to this one, name. Instead of name we can use this hexa value. For each color there is hexa value as well as RGB color also there. RGB value look like this one. 3 parameters it will expect, first, second and third. Okay, so for color red, this is the hexa value, this is the RGB value. So same result will come if you use this name or hexa value or RGB value, anything you can use in these three. If you use name you should use like this. If you use hexa value you should use like this. If you use RGB value you should use like this. For each and every color you will get these three types of colors. Okay, let's apply these three things. Color red already we applied, this kind of thing we already seen. Now let's apply some this one, hexa value. Let's say I have one div. I am using div element now. Hello. For this element I am using hexa value, hexa color. Let's say hexa color. Okay, let's apply. For div we will write like color colon, here we should, this slash is missed. Yeah, now let's see this. This is the hexa code for color red. Let's see for, see, color red is coming here. Either you can use name or hexa code or RGB value also, same result will come. Okay, that is about different ways of using colors. Let's go to next slide. Backgrounds. So there are multiple ways you can use the backgrounds. One is background color. So already we have seen the background color. Here we applied some background color for the body. So using this background hyphen color we can apply the background color. Okay. Here I applied for body. If you want you can apply for any particular element. Okay, and second one is the background image. So instead of background color you can apply background image also. So these two are the background repeat and background size are the supporting properties for background image. So these three are the combinations you can use like this: background image, background repeat, background size. Let's say, let's write some paragraph. Let's take some dummy content. So I'm just taking this dummy content inside the paragraph. So let's apply some dummy paragraph. So let's save it. See, here I have written one paragraph. For this paragraph I want to apply background image. Okay, let's go here, use some class name because here two pieces are there, two paragraphs are there. So let's write some class name for identifying particular paragraph. Let's say background image, background image element. Is just background hyphen element. Just for identifying I have given one class. Use this class for giving background image. Okay, let's say using background, let's go to here, background hyphen image colon URL. Okay, here you need to use URL of, inside URL you will give the path of the image. Let's say I have some images are there inside image folder. Let's say flowers.jpg. Okay, let's give this path. It is there inside image folder slash flowers.jpg. Okay, now let's see in the browser. See, this background image is like this, it is there. So let's change it to another one because that is not appearing good actually. Let's use some sunset.jpg. Sunset.jpg. See, so that background image is like that, that's why it is appearing like this. Okay, so instead of this you can apply for body, that will look good actually. Let's apply for body, then you will feel good actually. So here I used comment actually. Comment is for in future I can enable this line actually. So for now I don't want to write background image for paragraph, so I just commented. Commented means in future if I want I will enable this line. This will not display in the browser actually. Comment means future purpose we can comment it. So let's copy this one. Instead of for body you apply, then you will get to know. Now let's see. See, background image is coming like this. Okay, so there are two more properties are the supporting properties. Background repeat, no repeat, means if small image is there that will repeat actually. So for without repeating we can apply here background repeat, no repeat, means it will not repeat it actually. So here just see here. And what is the another supporting property is background size. Okay, background size you can give anyone, any pixels. So let's use here some background size. If I use some 100px and 200px height, first one is the width, second one is the height, so that much only background image will come. See, 100px width is coming, height 200px is only coming. Okay, so if I remove this one, we'll see what will happen. Background repeat means, see, it is repeating because I have given only 100px is the width. So 100px like that keep on repeating. So if for fixing that one, so I have used this background repeat, no repeat, means it will not repeat, only one time that image will display. Okay, so here I want to apply full width of the image. I don't want to apply till here. So complete browser width I want to apply this background image. Then instead of this one I will give, here I have given width, this second one is the height. So if I give only, I can give like this 100%, means complete browser width it will take. Let's save this one. See, it is coming like this. So if I give only width and if I don't mention this height, second property, then height will take automatically based on the width. So this is the best method actually. If I give this second height also, let's say some 500 pixel, then image will compress because here we are giving both width and height. So if we give only width, according to width, height will take automatically. Okay, without compressing the image. So better we should give only width of the background image, then height will take automatically based on the width. See, it's background, now it is looking good, background image actually. Okay, so that is about background image. First one is the background color, that is the normal one, Generally we will use background image, background repeat, background size. These three are the combination. Okay. So background image if colon URL, here we will give the path of the image. Background repeat, no repeat means without repeating same image. By default it will repeat actually. So background size means you can mention background image how much width and height should be there. So here this is the width and this is the height. You should give only width, then height will take automatically. If we give both like this, image will compress. So better we should give only width. So if I want to give only complete browser width, then we can use percentage 100%. Then complete browser width it will take that background image. Okay. So that is about backgrounds. Let's go to next slide. Borders. Now I want to apply some borders. So here you can see some sample borders using this border hyphen bottom. If I want to give bottom side, I can use border hyphen bottom. If I want to give top side, you can use border hyphen top. If you want to give left side, you can give border hyphen left. So like this you can apply 4 sides borders, border left, border bottom. If you mention just border colon 1px, then that will apply 4 sides. Okay. So here is the 3 kinds of borders are there. One is 1px means that width of the border, solid means solid color will come, background means black color will come. Here instead of solid, if we use dotted means dotted border will come. If we use dashed means dashed border will come like this. Okay. So these are the 3 types of borders we can give. One is solid, dotted, dashed. Solid means like this, dotted, this is the dashed. So last one, this one is the color of the border. First one is the width of the border. If you give 10 pixel border will come. Let's take one, let's say here we have one paragraph, right? For paragraph let's apply border now. Okay, let's go to our HTML. So for paragraph, let's change this. Let's say I want to give one more class. Here we can give multiple classes for single element. This class I given for background purpose, background image purpose. So second class I can give. Okay, second class I will give for border. So in this class I will apply the border actually. Let's say border some 5px solid. Let's give some different one, green yellow something. Okay, now let's save this one. Let's see how border will come. See, border is looking good actually. So here 5px is the width of the border. You can increase or you can reduce that width here. Let's say if you give some 10px, let's see how this 10px will work. See, this border width I given 10px. Okay, and the third, this one is the solid. Solid means solid one will come. This is the color of the one. Instead of solid you can give the dashed also. Okay, now let's see. See, dashed one is coming here. Instead of dashed you can give dotted also. Dotted. See, now dotted is coming. So based on your requirement you can apply this one, either solid or dotted or dashed. Most of the people will give solid only. So first one is the width of the border. Black means this color of the this one. So this is the border means here 4 sides it is applying. If I want to give only I want to apply only for bottom side, then instead of border I can use border bottom. Okay, so now let's see. Border bottom means only bottom side is coming. Okay, so if I want 4 sides, just use the border, that's it. If you want to top you can give border top. 4 sides you can use the border like this. So let's use for 4 sides now. See, 4 sides is coming, no? So that is about the border. First one is the width of the border, second one is dashed or dotted or solid, fourth one is the color of the color of the border. Okay, next let's go to next slide. Padding and margin. What is padding and what is margin? Okay, these are the most important things in CSS actually. So padding means padding will give space around the content actually. Okay, so let's use padding first. Now I want to give some space between this border and this content. Okay, then we can use the padding. Here let's use padding. Let's say if I use 10px, so around the content 10px space will come. Let's see this gap is coming 10px. Let's increase some more, you will get to know. Let's use 50px. See, this 4 sides, this one is coming gap. Okay, if you want to give only top side also, you can give padding top, only top side it will come. See, remaining sides it will not come. If you give just padding, that will take as 4 sides. I just want to give only 10px. See, only 10px gap is coming. So padding is the gap between this content and this border. Okay, this gap, 4 sides. Now let's go to this documentation. Padding is the gap between this border and the content. Now what is margin? Margin means outside the element, that is not related to the element. If you want to give some space outside of element, you can use the margin. Okay, now let's say I want to give some space this one top before this border, then I can use the margin. Let's use some margin. I want to give only top side. Now then I will apply just margin top, some 30px. 30px gap I want before the border. See, only top side is coming. If we use some more, you will get to know. Let's use some 100px. See, 100px gap is coming before that, before the element. That is actually outside the element, margin means. Okay, here you can see the diagram. So border means that is our let's say if you take your village, some borders will be there. Outside of your border, that is next village will come, right? So that is not related to your village border after border. So like that only for HTML element, border is the surrounded that corners of the element. So after border, margin will start. Margin means you can give some space outside of the element. Okay, here I have given 100px space before the element. That is not inside. This margin is not part of the element actually. Okay, so most of the interviewers will ask this question: what is the difference between margin and padding actually? So padding is the gap between content and the border. Here you can see the difference. So this gap, content and this border, this gap is the padding. Margin is outside of element. Here I given 100px margin top. So that is outside of element. That is not part of the element. Margin means. Okay. So if you give element width means this and all will come. One is content width and padding left, padding right, and border left, border right. So this complete one, this is the formula for element width. All this it will consider and it will give the this width, this element. If for example for this element, this is the this content width as well as this padding left and padding right, and this border left width and border right width. So this and all if we add, then this element width will come. Okay, so that is about padding and margin. This is also called as box model. Box model means content and padding will is the space between content and border. Margin is outside of the element. So this is a, so people will ask what is box model, then you can say like this. You can explain what is padding, what is margin, what is border, all these things. Okay, next, text align. Text align is for if you want to align some text. Let's say here like this, here I have given examples, hello world. Okay, so this is the left align. By default the left align will be there. So here if you give text align center means this center will come. This text, whatever text is there inside element, it will come inside the center of the element actually. Okay, if you use text align right means right side will come. Okay, so now let's use one by one this one. Let's use one more para, or else you use different one instead of para, h3 or h4. Heading 4, let's say hello world. Okay, now for h4 let's give one class. Always we should better to use class instead of the selector name, because if we use the selector name, if we apply some CSS, that will apply across all elements, across all h4s. Okay, let's write some text CSS. Okay, for this let's apply some CSS. Let's say text align. First let's hide this left bar, we will get some space. Yeah, so by default left will be there actually. So let's apply default one first, text align left. See here left is coming now. So let's apply, instead of left you give center, text align center. Now let's see it is coming in center of the element. Now I want to give right side, then we can use text align right. Okay, save it. See right side is coming. Okay, so like that you can align the text left, right and center. Okay, by using this text hyphen align. So here are the three types, text align left to center and right. Let's go to next slide. Text transform. Text transform will useful for if you want to make your text to lowercase or uppercase or capitalize. Okay, let's say you have some text, if you use this property it will be like this, hello world. If you use like this uppercase, it will convert to uppercase. If you use capitalize means each letter will become in each word first character will become caps 1 if you use capitalize. For example, let's use one thing, this one. Okay, text transform uppercase. Let's take this one, hello world. I want to make it uppercase. Okay, then here already we are using, no? So let's use text transform uppercase. Now it will convert everything to the uppercase. See here, everything it's converted to uppercase. Okay, so similar way you can use this one also, lowercase as well as capitalize also. Okay, so that is about text transform. It will transform to the different way, lowercase or uppercase or capitalize. Next one is text decoration. Text decoration means this will add one line to the element. If you use if you want to underline of the text, you can use this text decoration : underline. If you want to some line on top of it, text decoration colon overline. If you want to write some line on middle of the text, then you can use text decoration colon line through. Okay, text decoration none means there will be no line will come. Okay, now I want to apply some underline here for this one. Let's apply here text decoration underline. Let's save this one. See, underline is coming. I want to put one line in middle of the text, then we can use text decoration line through. Line through means in middle of the text that line will come. So that is about this one. So is everyone okay? This is about text decoration. Is everybody able to hear me? Any doubts or any clarifications? If you have any comments, or you can just comment me if you get any confused. Okay, everyone able to hear, right? Okay, if you get any problem, you just ping in that. Okay, okay, let's go to, this is about text decoration. Text decoration will give underline, overline, line through. Let me check network. Yeah, network is fine. So text decoration will give like this: underline, overline, line through. And if you don't want anything, by default this one will be there, text decoration none. Okay. Next one, text spacing. Okay, if you want to give some particular line height, you can use like this: line height colon 15px. Okay, letter spacing means each letter you can give the space between each letter. For example, here letter hyphen spacing 3px means each letter 3px space will come. Okay, for each letter between space. Word spacing also there. If you want to give space between each word, you can use this word spacing. Okay, so let's say I want to use this letter spacing. So here I want to use letter spacing. Let's use that one. Let's go here and use letter spacing some 5px. So for each letter I want to give 5px space. See, now let's use some 10px. What will happen? See, for each letter gap is I have given letter spacing 10px. Now instead of letter spacing I want to give word spacing. Word spacing means between, here two words are there, between two words I want to give 10px space. Then I will use word spacing 10px. Now let's see, this will give space only between the words. See here, space is coming. So that is about spacing. Okay, so these three types of spacing will be there. First one is the line height. Actually you can increase the height and you can reduce the height of the line. So second and third is for letter spacing and word spacing. For each letter if you want to give space, letter spacing. Between the words if you want to use word spacing. Next one, text shadow. So here is the example for shadow. If you want to give some shadow of your text, some reflection if you want, you can use like this. This is the syntax of shadow. Okay, text hyphen shadow 2px means this one, horizontal shadow. Second one is the vertical shadow. This 5px is the blurriness. Blurriness means some you will get to know once you use. Let's use this one. Let's copy this one. So for this I want to apply some text shadow. Let's see this one, how it will come. Text hyphen shadow. This one not coming. text shadow 2px 2px. Somehow it is not coming. Let's try our own way. Text shadow some 5px red. I want to apply red color. Let's see why this one not coming. Okay, somehow this is not working, but I will check why it is not working. But this is the actual way of giving text shadow. Okay, I will you also can Google why it is not working. Okay, I will get to know in the next class. Okay. Text type and shadow. This is the horizontal shadow, this is vertical, this is the blurriness, this is the example. Okay, let's go to next slide. Font family. So here we have one property in CSS, font type and family, like this. If you use Giorgio like this, it will display. If you use Arial like this, it will display. Most common ones, some font family, Times, Arial, all these are the common ones. If you use this one, it will come like this. Okay, let's use some font family for this. Here we have bigger text is there now. For this, let's apply. So for that, what is the background image border now? So here let's apply some font family. Here it will show all the this thing. Let's use this one, cursive. So many things are there. This editor will give suggestions. So see this one, how it is coming. See here, this is the regular one, but we applied some font family here for this part. It's looking differently. So for each font family, it will look differently. Let's apply some different one. Let's say Times Roman. Let's see this one. See, I think this is the regular one we are using every day, Times 1. So for each, based on this font family, that displaying text will change actually. Okay, so this is about font family. It will specify the font of an element. Okay, let's go to next slide. Links. So links generally we will use for navigating one page to another page or one section to another section. Okay, so we can style that links. So here this underline will come by default for links actually. If you don't want that underline, you can use this one. Text decoration none, means that underline will not come. Okay, so you can use some padding means some surrounding text, that gap will come. You can use some background colors, all these things. Hover means when you hover on the link, this it will change the background color. Let's use this some links. Let's say I want to put some links. Okay, or else we can use downside only. So let's put few links here. So let's use some div. Inside div I want to write some 4 links. Some Google. Here we will give href is the attribute, we will give the path of the link. Okay, okay, some google.com. Here we will give, let's go to Google and copy that Google one. Here you can get the path of the this one Google, and just paste it instead of writing it. This is the Google link. So similar way I want to write Facebook also. So here instead of Google, just I am putting Facebook. Let's say if I have LinkedIn, let's change here Facebook, F caps. Here is the LinkedIn. Okay, now let's see. I have 3 links actually, Google, Facebook and LinkedIn. Let's see how it will display. See here 3 links are displaying, Google, Facebook, LinkedIn. Okay, now I want to style this one. For this 3, this border is coming now. underline is coming. So I want to remove that underline first because that's not looking good. Then I can use this A. A is the selector because for these three I want to remove the underline. Then I will use text decoration none, means that underline will not come. See, it's not coming now. So I want to apply some background color for these three. Okay, let's apply some background color, orange. Let's save this one. See, it's coming now. So three background colors are coming. Let's give some padding. Padding means content and the border is the gap. Surrounding content you can give the space. So I want to give some padding. Let's say padding 5px. Now let's see. See, now it's looking good actually, 5px. So I have given surrounding this text 5px is the gap padding, that is called as padding. Okay. So what we can apply now, let's change it to color, different color white you can apply, or else background color let's apply black, and let's apply color white because both those are the combination, black and white. Color white. Let's save this one. See, now it's looking good actually, black and white. Background color black and color is the white I have given. Okay, now as I told in the this one tutorial, so here hover is there. What is hover? Hover means, let's say when I hover, when I go to this when I hover on this top of the link, that will change it to some another thing, whatever we written. Let's use that hover. We will write like this: hover. Background color I want to change. When I hover, background color, this one I want to apply. Now let's see how it will work. See, let's use some different color instead of this one, red. See, now hover means when this cursor is on top of the element, that hover CSS will apply. Here we have given background color red. Okay, similar way you can apply multiple properties also here. Okay, so when you hover on particular element, that particular element background color is changing here. Okay, so this is about links. You can decorate like this. So here I have used text decoration none, means for removing underline. So by default underline will come for links, so I don't want that underline, so I have removed that. Background color, for applying background color. Padding means around the content I want to give some spacing, so I used this one. Okay. Hover means when I hover on the element, I want to change the background color from black to red, then we can use this hover part. So like this. Okay, so next let's go to next one, list. Okay, so we have a few list: order list, unorder list. Okay, order list means like this, which will come A, B, C, or Roman letters, caps or small, or 1, 2, 3 also will come. This is example for unorder list. This square and a circle will come. Okay, you can control with this type attribute only instead of CSS. You can use this type equal to A, means A, B, C, like that will come. If you use this type 1, means 1, 2, 3 will come here, this list. Okay, let's write this one for example. Let's go here, list we will write using OL or UL. OL for order list. Okay, let's say coffee here, T tea, cool drink, cool drinks. Okay, now let's see how this list will come by default. See, this list 1 to 3 will come by default for order list. Okay, now if I want to change here type equal to some j, then jbc will come instead of 1 2 3. By default 1 2 3 will come. See here, so using this attribute we can control. Okay, so instead of using this attribute we can use css also for controlling. You can use these attributes for order list. For if you want to bring abc, you can use this thing, list style type, lower alpha, upper alpha, lower roman, upper roman, all this thing. For order list you can use this thing, circle, square, all. Better to use in html, I think, as my view, because this is simple to use in html. Okay, this you can control both in html as well as css also, this list, whether it is bullet or square or roman or caps a, caps b, small a, small b, all that things. Okay. So this also you can write some more css for this. Let's say I want to apply some color for this list, then how can I apply? So let's go to here, let's write some, for li element I will apply here, let's say color, some, this one I want to apply chocolate color. Let's see here, see, chocolate color is coming. Okay, so if you want to give some margin padding also you can use here. Those are the common properties actually, margin, padding, font size, all these things. Margin, I want to apply margin bottom. Margin bottom means below the element some space will come, some 20 px. See now, see, after this each li margin will apply after this element. Okay, not within the element. So after this each li 20 px will come. So I want to give just 5 px, so list will not be there that much spacious. See, okay, so you can give background color, some, whatever I explained till now you can apply all the generic properties for the list also. Next let's go to table. Table you can use, using this table element you can apply. Let's write some table. It's almost completed, just wait for 5-10 minutes, I will complete. Just use table element. Let's use first t head. Inside t head we will write the table heading. Okay, inside table row let's use some th. Inside th let's say name. Let's say I want to write some student student report. Let's say name, school, location. Okay. Now let's copy this one. This is about heading. Let's write body part. Body part we will write inside t body. Okay, let's copy this one. For headings we will use th element. Okay, table heading. For data we will use td, table data. So here let's use some multiple people. Gopal, let's write Gopal. Here government school. Location, something. So let's copy this row into multiple rows. Let's say Gopal 1, Gopal 2, Gopal 3. Let's say like this. Okay, just see here how it will come table. See, it's coming, right? This is not looking good, not at all looking good. So if I give some styling, so as I explained in this one, I can give like this border. Let's apply these styles first. Some border I want to apply. Now let's see this one, how it will come. Okay, so for table TDTH, for all these things I want to apply border. Okay, border collapse means multiple, without coming multiple borders, this border collapse will apply. See here, it is coming now. So if I want to apply some colors, I will use like this. So let's go to this one. So here even nth child is there. Nth child even means 0, 2, 4. So like even rows the CSS will apply. Okay, odd means if I want to apply for odd rows, nth child of odd means for odd rows 1, 3, 5 like that, CSS will apply. So let's use this one, nth child, for applying some this one. So let's format it. So for formatting the document, you right click and here format the document. So I have used these two here now, nth child of even and nth child of odd. So even means 0, 2, that will come, see like this. For 0 will this color came, 2 this color came, for 1 and 3 same color came. So if you have number of rows, you can apply like this. Okay, for even rows green color will apply, for odd rows orange color will apply. Okay, so that is about styling part, table. So you can give some border like this. So I have applied for table TDTH, and for even rows you can apply like this, nth child of even, nth child of odd, like this. Next, font size. Font size means you can increase the font size if you want. If you use here, let's say font size 28px, this much text will come. If you use 42, this much text will come. If you use 56, this much text will come. So based on your requirement, this font size you can give actually. Okay, that is about font size. Let's say I want to apply some font size to this table. Okay, let's go here. So here I will apply, let's say font size some 20px I want to apply. Let's see 20px is coming. So if I want to apply only 10px, see only 10px is coming, it's very small. So based on your requirement, you can give this font size. Next one is the opacity. Opacity means it will give the blurriness. So here you can see the picture, opacity point, its range is 0 to 1. So 0.2 means like this it will come, 0.5 means little opacity will come, 1 means full opacity will come. You can apply for image, you can apply for background image, background color, for anything you can apply this opacity. Okay, so yeah, that's it about today's session. So in next session I will complete this CSS complete one. So this is the about part 1. In part 2 I will complete everything. Okay, whatever remaining, there are some advanced CSS is there, animations, transition, transformations, all these things. So we can make it these borders, these corners, rounded ones, all that I will show in the second part. So don't miss that second part. Okay,